The alarm screamed through the research station at dawn. Dr. Marcus Chen rolled out of his bunk, heart pounding. Red emergency lights bathed the corridors of threshold 7 inches crimson as he pulled on his boots. Outside his window, he could see colonists running toward the eastern perimeter. All personnel, this is Administrator Knox. The intercom crackled. We have an unidentified creature in Sector 7. Military personnel report to Armory. Civilians stay inside. Marcus grabbed his medical kit anyway. 30 years of being a xenobiologist had taught him one thing. When something unknown appeared, someone usually needed a doctor. The volcanic highlands stretched beyond the colony walls, black rock still steaming from last week's eruption. Marcus joined the crowd gathering at the eastern gate, pushing through until he could see what had everyone terrified. A dragon lay among the rocks. There was no other word for it. The creature was massive, easily 20 meters from snout to tail. Its scales shimmered like heated metal, colors shifting between copper and gold in the morning light. 2 enormous wings spread across the ground, one bent at an unnatural angle. Burns scarred its body, and a strange silver collar encircled its thick neck. We need to kill it, Security Chief Morrison said, raising his plasma rifle. Before it wakes up and attacks the colony. Wait, Marcus stepped forward. Look at it. It's injured, not aggressive. It's a monster, Chen. We don't even have it in the database. Marcus studied the creature through his binoculars. The wing was definitely broken, membrane torn. The burns looked like weapon fire. This thing hadn't crashed here by accident. It had been running from something. Give me 1 hour, Marcus said. If I can't stabilize it, do what you want. Administrator Knox, a tired woman with gray hair, considered this. 30 minutes, doctor, and take a security team. Marcus approached slowly, medical kit in hand. 2 armed guards flanked him, weapons ready. The dragon's eye opened when he was 10 meters away. It was the size of Marcus's head, burning with golden light that seemed almost intelligent. The creature rumbled, a sound so deep Marcus felt it in his chest. His translator crackled, catching fragments. Danger. Away. Not safe. I'm a doctor, Marcus said simply, holding up his hands. I want to help. The dragon watched him with that impossibly intelligent gaze. Then, slowly, it laid its head back down. Permission. Marcus got to work. The wing was worse up close. The bone structure was similar to Terran pterosaurs, but far more complex. The fracture was clean at least. But the membrane had multiple tiers. He pulled out his portable scanner, designed for livestock but adaptable. Fascinating, he muttered, studying the readings. Your bone density is incredible. Cellular structure unlike anything I've seen. The dragon made another sound, softer this time. Almost amused, Marcus worked for 20 minutes, setting the bone with a portable brace meant for farm animals. The dragon barely flinched, though the procedure had to hurt. He applied synthetic tissue grafts to the wing membrane, watching as the medical gel began encouraging cellular regeneration. You're not from around here, are you? Marcus asked as he worked. That collar. Someone put that on you. Were you someone's pet? The dragon's rumble sounded distinctly negative. Marcus noticed scorch marks around the collar. Did you try to remove it? Here, let me check for damage. As he examined the collar, symbols flickered across its surface. They looked almost like writing, but his scanner couldn't translate them. The metal was warm to the touch, humming with energy. This is some kind of suppression device, Marcus said thoughtfully. Is it hurting you? Another rumble. His translator caught. Necessary. For now. Cannot. All right, I'll leave it alone. Marcus stepped back, surveying his work. That should hold. The grafts will help your wing heal, but you need to rest. No flying for at least 2 weeks. The dragon lifted its head and did something Marcus didn't expect. It pressed its forehead gently against his chest, just for a moment. The gesture felt ancient, ceremonial. Heat radiated from its scales, but not burning, more like standing near a comforting fire. Then it spoke, and this time the translator caught it clearly. You will be remembered, healer. The dragon rose carefully, favoring its injured wing. It limped toward a nearby cave system, moving with surprising grace despite its size. At the cave entrance, it looked back once at Marcus, golden eyes unreadable. Then it disappeared into the darkness. "What the hell was that?" Morrison demanded, running up with his rifle. "That," Marcus said slowly, "was a patient, and I think we just made a very interesting friend." Administrator Knox joined them. "Dr. Chen, I want daily reports." "That thing is now your responsibility." Marcus nodded, still staring at the cave. He didn't understand why, but something about the dragon felt important. The way it had looked at him, the ceremonial gesture, the intelligence in those ancient eyes. This was no simple beast. That night, Marcus lay in his bunk reviewing the scan data. The dragon's biology was remarkable. Its cellular structure suggested incredible age, perhaps centuries. The collar readings were even stranger, showing energy signatures that matched nothing in human or known alien technology. He pulled up his notes and created a new file. He needed a name for his patient. After a moment, he typed, "Subject Ember. Status: recovering. Species: unknown. Origin: unknown. Threat level: uncertain." Then he added one more line. "Note to self. Something about this creature feels significant. Like we've stumbled onto something much bigger than we realize." Outside his window, lightning crackled over the volcanic highlands. In the distance, from deep within the cave system, came a sound like distant thunder, or perhaps a dragon, dreaming of better days. He had spent half the night researching high-energy metabolisms and preparing nutrient supplements. The dragon needed protein, minerals, and probably something he hadn't thought of yet. He packed everything into 2 heavy bags and made the hour-long trek to the volcanic highlands. "Ember," he called at the cave entrance. "It's Marcus. I brought breakfast." Silence answered him. Then, from deep within the darkness, that familiar rumbling sound. Not threatening, more like acknowledgement. Marcus activated his headlamp and walked inside. The cave opened into a massive chamber, walls glittering with mineral deposits. Heat rose from cracks in the floor, where magma flowed far below. And there, coiled in the center like a sleeping cat, was the dragon. Ember's golden eyes opened as Marcus approached. "Good morning," Marcus said cheerfully. "How's the wing?" The dragon extended the injured wing slightly. The grafts were holding, and the swelling had gone down. Marcus nodded with satisfaction. "Excellent. Now, I wasn't sure what you eat, so I brought options." He unpacked the bags. "Synthetic protein blocks, mineral supplements, and some dried meat from our livestock. Take your pick." Ember sniffed each item carefully. Then, to Marcus's surprise, the dragon spoke. The words came out as deep rumbles, but his translator caught them clearly this time. "You return." "Why?" "Because you're my patient," Marcus said simply. "And patients need follow-up care. Most would fear me. Most haven't spent 30 years studying xenobiology. You're fascinating, Ember. I've never seen anything like you in the galactic database." The dragon made a sound that might have been amusement. "Ember, you named me? Hope you don't mind. Seemed appropriate with those glowing scales of yours." Ember was quiet for a moment. Then, "I had another name once. A great name. But Ember will do. For now." Over the following days, a routine developed. Marcus came every morning with supplies and medicine. Ember tolerated the medical checks, and slowly began to talk more. The dragon taught Marcus his language, repeating words patiently until the human understood. "Your people," Ember said one afternoon. "They are young in the galaxy, yes?" "Very young," Marcus admitted, cleaning the healing wing tissue. "We only joined the galactic community 60 years ago. Most species see us as weak newcomers, primitive, yet you treat me without fear. Fear doesn't help anyone heal." Marcus smiled. "Besides, you've been nothing but patient with me. Even when I'm sure these treatments hurt." Ember's eyes studied him with that unsettling intelligence. You are not what I expected from humans. What did you expect? I did not know humans before you. But I have known many species across many years. Most think only of what they can take. You think of what you can give. Marcus felt oddly touched by this. Well, that's what doctors do. As the weeks passed, Ember began sharing stories. Tales of a great civilization that once spanned the stars. A sovereignty built on honor and strength, where leaders earned their position through wisdom and courage. Marcus listened, fascinated, assuming these were myths from Ember's homeworld. It sounds beautiful, Marcus said one day. What happened to it? Ember's voice turned dark. Betrayal. The High Council grew hungry for power. They made deals with enemies, promised them wealth and territory, and when the time came, they struck from within. That's terrible. The Emperor trusted them, believed in their loyalty. It was his greatest mistake. Ember's claws scraped against stone. He was betrayed, captured, collared like an animal. Everything he built was stolen by those he called friends. Marcus felt a chill. This Emperor. What happened to him? He escaped. Barely. He has been running ever since, hunted by those who took everything from him. I'm sorry, Ember. No one deserves that. The dragon looked at him for a long moment. You truly mean that? Of course I do. Something changed in Ember's expression. A decision made. Marcus Chen. You have shown me kindness when you owed me nothing. You have asked for nothing in return. This is rare. Precious. Even. It's just the right thing to do. Many species have forgotten what right means. Their conversations grew deeper. Marcus shared his own stories about humanity's struggles in the galaxy. How Earth had been desperate to join the galactic community. How human colonies were often ignored or exploited by stronger species. How humanity constantly had to prove their worth. Your species fights for recognition, Ember observed. We fight to survive, Marcus corrected. The galaxy is a tough place for newcomers. Survival requires more than strength. It requires adaptability. Heart. Your people have both, I think. One evening, as Marcus prepared to leave, Ember stopped him. The Jothic are coming. Marcus froze. The Jothic Dominion? Why? They hunt me. They want what I am. What I know. Ember's voice was grim. You should not be seen with me. It will bring you danger. How much time do we have? Days, perhaps. Their scouts already searched nearby systems. Marcus thought quickly. The old mining tunnels. Under the western ridge. They're extensive. And the mineral deposits interfere with scanners. We can hide you there. You would risk this? For me? You're my friend, Ember. Friends protect each other. The dragon made that ceremonial gesture again, pressing his massive forehead against Marcus's chest. The heat was comforting now, familiar. You will be remembered, Marcus Chen. Long after stars grow cold, you will be remembered. Quote, that night, Marcus helped Ember relocate to the abandoned mining complex. The dragon moved carefully, wings still healing but functional enough for short walks. They set up in the deepest chamber, where scanners couldn't penetrate. Rest here, Marcus said. I'll bring supplies tomorrow. And if the Jothic come, I'll lead them away. You cannot fight them. I don't need to fight them. I just need to lie convincingly. Marcus grinned. I'm human. We're very good at improvising. As Marcus walked back to the colony under the stars, he felt a strange certainty. Whatever happened next, his life had changed forever. He had made a friend unlike any other. He just didn't realize he had befriended an emperor. The Jothic arrived on a cold morning, 3 weeks after Marcus first found Ember. Their ship descended like a dark knife, sleek and predatory. Marcus watched from the research station window as it landed outside the colony walls. His hands tightened around his coffee cup. Here we go, he muttered. Administrator Knox called an emergency meeting within the hour. The colony's leadership gathered in the conference room, along with Marcus. Through the window, they could see the Jothic delegation approaching. There were 5 of them, insectoid creatures with black chitinous armor, and too many joints in their limbs. Leading them was Commander Vex's Thor, taller than the others, with red markings on his carapace. Administrator Knox, Vex Thor's translator, made his voice sound cold and mechanical. We are here on official business. We are tracking an escaped specimen. A rare creature of significant value. Knox folded her arms. What kind of creature? A dragon form entity. Extremely dangerous. It crashed in this region 3 weeks ago. Vex Thor pulled out a data pad. We have legal authorization from the Galactic Commerce Guild. The creature is registered property of the Jothic Dominion. Marcus felt his stomach drop. Property. They were calling Ember property. We haven't seen anything like that. Knox lied smoothly. Vex Thor's compound eyes swiveled toward Marcus. And yet, our sensors detected medical treatment being administered in the Highlands. Xenobiological procedures. Dr. Chen, I believe? Marcus kept his face neutral. I treat injured animals sometimes. Part of my research. Then you won't mind showing us your recent medical logs. Actually, I do mind. Patient confidentiality. Vex Thor clicked his mandibles, a sound like laughter. Animals have no confidentiality rights, Doctor. Now, we can do this cooperatively, or we can invoke our legal authority and search the entire colony. Knox looked at Marcus, her expression conflicted. The colony couldn't afford trouble with the Jothic Dominion. They controlled too many trade routes. Had too much military power. Marcus, she said quietly, if you know where this creature is, you need to tell them. No, Marcus said firmly. That dragon is a living being, not property. I won't hand over a patient to people who collared it like a slave. Vex Thor's translator crackled with interest. So you do know where it is. Excellent. Dr. Chen, you are hereby ordered to surrender the creature immediately or face charges of harboring stolen property. On what authority? Vex Thor displayed his datapad. The legal documents looked legitimate, stamped with official galactic seals. Knox read them and sighed. Marcus, I'm sorry. The law is on their side. You have to cooperate. Marcus stood up. Then, the law is wrong. He walked out of the conference room, Vex's Thor and his soldiers following. They marched through the colony toward the western ridge, colonists watching nervously. Marcus led them to the old mining tunnels, his mind racing for a plan. There wasn't one. He had run out of options. At the tunnel entrance, Marcus stopped. He's down there. But I'm asking you, please, don't hurt him. He's done nothing wrong. We will retrieve our property as we see fit, Vex Thor said coldly. They descended into darkness, lights cutting through the gloom. Marcus's heart pounded. He had to warn Ember somehow, give him a chance to escape, but it was too late. They found Ember in the deepest chamber, resting by the magma vents. The dragon's eyes opened as lights swept across him. He stood slowly, majestically, even with the healing wing. There you are, Vex Thor said with satisfaction. 3 months we've been hunting you. The council will be very pleased. Ember's voice rumbled through the chamber. Leave this place, Jothic. You have no power here. On the contrary. Vex Thor raised a device. We have every power. He activated it. The collar around Ember's neck blazed with light. The dragon roared in pain, collapsing to his knees. Electricity crackled across his scales. Stop it, Marcus ran forward. You're killing him. We're reminding it of its place, Vex Thor said. But then, something changed. The collar began sparking erratically. What? That's impossible. The medical scans, Marcus realized what was happening. His scanner, when he had examined the collar weeks ago, must have damaged its circuits. The device was malfunctioning. Ember's roar changed. Deepened. Power surged through the chamber like a shockwave. For just a moment, the collar's suppression failed completely. The dragon's form blazed with golden light. He grew larger, more radiant. His presence filled the entire chamber like a physical force. Marcus felt it pressing against his mind, ancient, powerful, imperial. This was no ordinary creature. This was something far greater. The Jothic soldiers fell to their knees, their bodies responding to an authority older than their empire. Impossible, Vex Thor whispered. The Emperor, the lost Emperor. Across the galaxy, on 100 hidden worlds, ancient sensors activated. Draconim warriors who had been sleeping in exile felt it. Their Emperor was calling, but the collar reasserted itself. The light faded. Ember collapsed, the suppression device smoking and sparking around his neck. The moment of revelation was over, but the damage was done. Vex Thor's expression changed from shock to greedy excitement. Do you know what this means? We haven't just found an escaped pet. We've found Emperor Kazareth himself. The Council will reward us beyond measure. The sovereignty thought they hid him well, but we have him now. He spoke into his communicator. Send the fleet. Full military deployment. We've found the Dragon Emperor. If... Marcus saw Ember struggling, the collar torturing him with electricity. Without thinking, he grabbed his medical kit. His laser scalpel was small but precise, designed for delicate surgery. Marcus. No. Nox tried to stop him, but Marcus was already moving. He ran to Ember, dodged a Jothic soldier's grab, and pressed the scalpel against the collar. Hold still, healer. Don't. Ember gasped. The energy release will. Ember, I don't care. Marcus cut through the first circuit. The collar exploded. The blast threw Marcus backward. Fire filled the chamber. The mining tunnel shook. Supports cracking. Through the smoke and flame, Marcus saw Ember rising, but this time, nothing held him back. The dragon's true form emerged like a star being born. Massive. Radiant. Imperial. His wings spread wide, no longer injured but perfect and terrible. His scales shone like molten gold. His eyes burned with the power of centuries. Emperor Kazareth stood revealed at last, and he was magnificent. Marcus lay on his back, ears ringing. His body ached from the blast, but he was alive. Through blurred vision, he saw the dragon standing above him. No, not just a dragon anymore. This was something else entirely. Emperor Kazareth stood nearly 30 meters tall now. His true form unleashed. Golden light radiated from his scales like captured sunlight. His wings, both perfectly healed, spread across the entire chamber. Power rolled off him in waves that made the air shimmer. Marcus. The Emperor's voice was different now. Deeper. Resonant with authority that had commanded civilizations. What have you done? Ona. Saved you, Marcus coughed. I think. Kazareth lowered his massive head, bringing one eye level with the human. You freed me. Truly freed me. The collar suppressed not just my power, but my ability to call my people. Now they will hear me. Now they will come. Your people? Marcus sat up slowly. Ember, what are you? I tried to tell you, in my own way. The Emperor's expression softened. I am Kazareth, last Emperor of the Draconim sovereignty. For 3 centuries I ruled, until betrayal forced me to flee. I have been hiding, weakened, hunted, until you found me. Administrator Nox and the others stared in shock. Vex Thor was on his knees, mandibles clicking in fear. The fleet, Vex Thor stammered into his communicator. Abort! Abort the... Kazareth's tail swept out, destroying the communicator. Too late, Hunter. Your fleet is already coming. Good. Let them come. Marcus struggled to his feet. Kazareth, I don't understand. You're an emperor? A real emperor? I was. Perhaps I still am, if any of my sovereignty remains. The Emperor looked at Marcus with something like fondness. You showed kindness to what you thought was merely a wounded beast. You asked for nothing, expected nothing, and when danger came, you protected me. You were my friend, and you were mine. The first friend I have had in many years. Kazareth straightened to his full height. By the ancient laws of my people, I name you Wingmender, a title of honor given to those who save an emperor's life. You are now under imperial protection. Marcus Chen, you and your entire species. My species? That seems like a lot. The ground shook. Everyone looked up as ships descended from the sky. Massive Jothic warships, weapons charging, ready to capture what they thought was a helpless prize. But from the opposite direction, something else appeared. Ships that had been hiding in the darkness of space, waiting for 3 long decades. Dragon ships, their hulls shaped like their builders, burning with the same golden light. The Draconum sovereignty had arrived. Kazareth's roar split the sky. It was not just sound, it was a command that resonated through space itself. His scattered people heard and answered. Dozens of dragon ships emerged from hiding, surrounding the Jothic fleet. People of the Draconum. Kazareth's voice boomed across all frequencies. Your emperor has returned. The betrayers will be dealt with. The hunted will become hunters, and those who stood with me in darkness will be rewarded in light. The battle was brief but spectacular. The Jothic fleet had expected an easy capture. Instead, they faced an unleashed emperor and his loyal warriors, who had waited decades for this moment. Dragonfire lit the sky. Plasma and energy beams crossed like lightning. The colonists of Threshold 7 watched in awe as history unfolded above their heads. Within an hour, the Jothic fleet was destroyed or retreating. Commander Vex Thor tried to run, but Kazareth's claws pinned him to the ground. Mercy, Vex Thor begged. Please, mercy. You showed me none. You collared me, tortured me, hunted me across the stars. Kazareth's voice was cold. But I am not the emperor I once was. I have learned from a human that mercy has value. He looked at Marcus, who nodded slightly. You will live? Kazareth continued. Return to your dominion. Tell them that Emperor Kazareth has returned. Tell them the Draconum sovereignty is reborn. And tell them that humanity is now under our protection. Any who harm them will answer to me. Vex Thor was released, scrambling to his escape pod. Within moments, he was gone. The dragon ships landed around the colony. Draconum warriors emerged, bowing to their emperor. They were magnificent dragons of every color, some walking on 4 legs, others on 2, all radiating power and ancient dignity. One approached, scales like midnight with silver stars. My emperor, we thought you lost forever. I nearly was, General Thexma. If not for this human. Kazareth gestured to Marcus with one wing. Marcus Chen, the Wingmender. He healed me when I was broken, protected me when I was hunted, freed me when I was enslaved. The general bowed deeply to Marcus. Then he has earned the gratitude of all Draconum. We are in your debt, small one. I just did what was right, Marcus said, still trying to process everything. Administrator Knox stepped forward cautiously. Emperor Kazareth, what happens now? To us? To our colony? Now? Kazareth's eyes gleamed. Now, your species becomes something more than dismissed newcomers. The galaxy overlooked humanity because you seemed weak. But I know the truth. Strength is not just power, it is compassion. It is choosing to help when you could walk away. He broadcast across all galactic channels, his voice reaching every corner of civilized space. I am Emperor Kazareth, of the Draconum sovereignty, returned from exile. Know this. Humanity is under our protection. They saved their emperor when mighty empires hunted him. They showed mercy when others showed none. Any species that harms them will face the wrath of the sovereignty. This is my decree. The galaxy would never see humanity the same way again. Marcus looked up at his friend, his emperor, and smiled. So, what now? Now, Kazareth said. You have a choice, Wingmender. Return to your simple life, or help me rebuild. Be a bridge between our peoples. Marcus thought about it for exactly 3 seconds. When do we start? Marcus stood on the observation deck of the Imperial dreadnought Eternal Dawn, watching stars streak by as the massive ship traveled through fold space. He still couldn't quite believe this was his life now. Ambassador Chen, a voice called. General Thexma approached, her silver-starred scales gleaming under the ship's lights. The Emperor requests your presence. We arrive at the summit within the hour. Still getting used to that title, Marcus admitted, adjusting his formal robes. They were human style but modified with Draconim symbols, a blend of both cultures. You earned it, Thexma said. Not many can say they changed the fate of empires by simply being kind. The past months had been a whirlwind. After Kazareth's dramatic return, everything happened quickly. The scattered Draconim forces united. Emerging from decades of hiding, old allies pledged loyalty again. The sovereignty, thought dead, was reborn stronger than before, and humanity found itself suddenly elevated from ignored newcomers to protected allies of an ancient power. Marcus had been offered a choice, and he chose to serve as humanity's first ambassador to the Draconim. It meant leaving his simple life as a colony doctor, but it also meant helping his entire species reach for something greater. He found Kazareth in the throne room, reviewing diplomatic documents. The Emperor looked up as Marcus entered, his golden eyes warm with recognition. Marcus, my friend, are you ready for today? As ready as I'll ever be, Marcus said. The Galactic Council meeting. Every major species will be there. They will see what humanity has become. What you have always been, though they were too blind to notice. Kazareth stood, his full imperial form magnificent in the formal setting. Come, we have preparations to make. The summit was being held on Nexus Prime, the neutral station where galactic politics unfolded. As the Eternal Dawn docked, Marcus saw hundreds of other ships representing species from across known space. The Jothic were there too, though their delegation looked nervous. Inside the Grand Council chamber, representatives gathered. The room fell silent as Emperor Kazareth entered. Marcus, walking beside him. Whispers spread like wildfire. Many had thought the Dragon Emperor a myth. Seeing him in person was something else entirely. Council members, Kazareth's voice filled the chamber. I thank you for this gathering. Today we discuss the Jothic Dominion's actions and the matter of reparations for their illegal activities. The Jothic ambassador, a scarred veteran named Kreshtar, stood. Emperor Kazareth, the Dominion acknowledges our mistakes. We believed you to be lost property, not a sovereign ruler. We sue for peace. Peace, Kazareth considered the word. You hunted me for months, tortured me, sought to use me as a trophy. And you would have succeeded, if not for one human who chose compassion over fear. All eyes turned to Marcus. He felt his face flush but stood tall. This human, Kazareth continued, represents what his entire species can offer the galaxy. Not just strength or technology, but something far more valuable, the wisdom to help others without expectation of reward. An ambassador from the Thelonian Collective, a crystalline being named Zixara, spoke up. With respect, Emperor, humanity is still young, inexperienced. What makes them worthy of such praise? Marcus felt Kazareth's wing gently touch his shoulder, encouraging him to speak. He stepped forward. You're right. We're young. We don't have ancient empires or powerful weapons. But we have something else. When we found Emperor Kazareth, when I found him, I didn't see a political opportunity. I saw someone hurt who needed help. That's what humans do. We see problems and we try to fix them. Pretty words, another ambassador muttered. Let me share something, Marcus said. In the past 6 months, human medical teams have been working with Draconim healers. We've combined our knowledge, their centuries of experience, with our innovation. Together, we've developed new treatments that have saved lives across 12 worlds. Not human worlds. Not Draconim worlds. Just lives. He pulled up holographic displays showing the data. Medical breakthroughs. Relief missions. Human doctors working alongside alien healers on planets they'd never heard of 6 months ago. We're not asking to lead, Marcus continued. We're asking to help, to be partners, not servants or overlooked children. We have value, even if it's not traditional military power. Zix-Ara's crystalline form shimmered with thought. This is compelling. But change is difficult. Many species have long-standing prejudices. Kazareth spoke again. Then let them be reminded of this. When I was at my weakest, when mighty empires hunted me, it was a human who saved me. Not because he expected reward, not because he knew who I was, but because it was the right thing to do. That quality, that humanity, is what the galaxy needs. The Jothic ambassador approached, bowing low. The Dominion formally apologizes for its actions against Emperor Kazareth and agrees to all reparations. We also wish to establish formal relations with humanity. Your people's mercy is noted. One by one, other species followed. Trade agreements, cultural exchanges, scientific partnerships. Humanity had spent decades begging for recognition. Now, it was being offered freely. The summit lasted 3 days. By the end, humanity had secured more alliances and agreements than in their entire history in the galactic community. Not through threats or power, but through demonstrated value and the endorsement of an emperor they had saved. On the final evening, Marcus and Kazareth stood alone on an observation deck, watching Nexus Prime's artificial sunset. You changed me, you know, Kazareth said quietly. Before I met you, I had lost faith. I believed honor was dead, that the galaxy had become nothing but predators and prey. You showed me I was wrong. You gave my people a chance, Marcus replied. A real chance to prove ourselves. You proved yourselves the moment you chose kindness over fear. Kazareth's eyes studied his friend. I was a bitter, angry emperor, in hiding. Now, I rule again, but differently, with more compassion. That is your doing. So, what happens now, after all this? Now we build something new. A sovereignty that remembers mercy. A humanity that reaches for the stars with confidence. And a friendship between our peoples that will last for generations. Marcus smiled. Not bad for a colony doctor. Not bad at all, Wingmender. Below them, diplomatic ships departed, carrying news that would reshape galactic politics. Humanity was no longer an afterthought. They were partners, allies, proof that strength came in many forms, and it all started because one human saw a wounded dragon and chose to help. Marcus thought about his small research station on Threshold 7, his simple life studying alien biology. He had been content there, working quietly in obscurity. Now he stood beside an emperor, representing his entire species on the galactic stage. Life was strange, wonderful, but strange. What are you thinking? Kazareth asked. Just remembering the day I found you. If someone had told me then that I'd be here now, I would have thought they were crazy. The best things in life are often the most unexpected. Kazareth's rumble was warm with amusement. You saved an emperor and gained a friend. I was saved by a healer and found hope again. Both of us are better for it. Both our peoples are better for it. Indeed. Kazareth looked out at the stars. The galaxy thought it knew what power meant. We showed them differently. Real power is not domination. It is lifting others up. That is the lesson you taught me, Marcus Chen. That is the lesson humanity will teach the galaxy. Marcus raised his glass in a toast. To unexpected friendships, Kazareth touched it gently with one claw. To the human who healed a dragon's wing and restored an emperor's faith, the stars stretched endlessly before them, full of possibility. And somewhere on Earth, on 100 human colonies, people looked up at those same stars with new hope. They were no longer alone or overlooked. They had proven their worth not through conquest, but through compassion. The Wingmender and the Emperor had shown the galaxy a better way, and the story was just beginning. The Enclawed can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.